When the 2025 criminal complaint drops on Big U, the world will be introduced to a dark trail of alleged crimes. But the complaint itself wraps up all of these activities under one umbrella organization, with the so-called Big U enterprise allegedly engaging in an array of criminal activity, including extortion, robbery, murder, human trafficking, wire fraud, bank fraud, other financial crimes, obstruction of justice, illegal debt collection, illegal gambling, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Some of these crimes seem absolutely crazy in the modern day and make you think more of the Black Hand mafia extortion scene in the Godfather movies than gangbangers in South Central LA. In fact, Big U actually previously referred to his life as a modern day mafia story, but things were much more complicated than that, because to cloak this alleged criminal activity, according to the complaint, Big U's non-profit was at the front and center, and this, along with his persona he presented to the public as a reformed gang member, actually allowed Big U to navigate both the criminal underworld and the halls of legitimate power and business at the same time. His non-profit umbrella organization, Developing Options, which controls a number of seemingly innocent entities attempting to do positive work in the community, actually received over $500,000 from the GRID program controlled by the city of LA, with a total of over $2.3 million from the city of LA being handed over, hundreds of thousands of which Big U allegedly withdrew personally as a salary. He would also allegedly embezzle funds that were meant for community work, in a practice where he would solicit donations from celebrities for his charities, then taking the money for himself personally. The criminal complaint later called Big U's organizations a front and part of a plan for Big U to control the streets of LA undercover, and according to wiretaps, Big U's persona as a reformed community activist was just a facade, and behind the scenes he was openly claiming how he was still the same man that they said he once was. Big U was also heard on a wiretap saying that no one can beef with him because he'd kill them, apparently even later bragging to someone about being the only gangster from his era still murdering people in the modern day and age. Big U's alleged right-hand man and enforcer and underboss was a man named Sylvester Robinson, aka Vay, with Mark Martin, aka Bearclaw, being a trusted lieutenant.
Yeah, so it's crazy that he was doing everything he was doing, right? And get this, he probably would have got away with half the extortion shit if it wasn't for the bodies, alleged bodies.
Big U's name and crew pulled a lot of weight and called a lot of shots in LA for decades, particularly when it came to the nightlife. There's one infamous story about Big U getting into a fight outside of a nightclub in 2014 and a rumored deadly wave of violence and extortion that came soon after. In a video posted by TMZ, Big U is seen trying to enter a club with his friend who's being turned away, who then attacks the security. Big U decides to back up his friend, getting into the fight and ending up being floored by the Samoan security team, being left bloodied and carried away by the police.
Oh, whoa. Go, go, hey! Stop! 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 Okay, you stop! Get that boy out. Stop! Oh! Get off the dude. Go, go, stop! Hey, you, Mike. Hey, you, just stay down. Hold him. He's good. You, Mike. Hey, close the gate, Mike. Close it up. Hey, close it up. Get him inside.
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out right now. Go. Get him out.
Be cool. Just be cool.
I don't want him in this. I don't. Get out.
All right, cool. Get him out of here. Back up. Come on. You, come on. You. Big U, you straight, girl? Huh? No, he just swung in my guard. Leave him on the ground. No, he goes to jail. He goes to jail tonight. Come on, let's go. Nothing to see, guys. Let's go. Hey guys, back up. Come on, what are you doing?
Big U later claimed that he had gone head-to-head with 15 Samoan security guards.
At the supper club up here. We was going in. It's only 30-40 minutes left in the club.
I ain't gonna lie, watching that, bro, had me fake hot. I'm not gonna see her like them security guards was acting. They was on some racist shit. For one, for two, he got his foot all on the homie chest, and you see Big U, he was hella. You can't really see, it was blurry, but on the uncensored one on TMZ, you can see Big U was bloodied up, and the security, they thought they had one that night. Yeah, he double back extortion. You thought this was? I didn't see that one. I don't disagree with that one. They was playing a dirty game, but shit.
Look, this dude hired something. The homeboy house. Yeah, they won't let him in. I'm like, I'm gonna stay out here with him. He just get off on the security guard for no apparent reason.
Get off, meaning?
He just fired on the dude.
Oh! Get off the dude, go!
All the security together is me by myself.
Big U, you straight, girl?
So I made the assessment. It's 15 of them. You fit to get your whooped. But how the rules go, I'm gonna get down where I'm mad at. I took flight. So when I'm on the ground, I'm wrestling with him. One dude came and kicked me. If you look at the film, he kicked me in the side of the face.
Back up. Come on. Hey, give me one fight diving over here. Back up, guys. Come on.
So the blood, while I'm on my back, wrestling with the blood filter in my eyes. I couldn't see.
Hey, guys, back up. Come on, what are you doing? Let's go.
I think I did pretty good, me versus 15. You know what I'm saying?
Big U would also claim that in the aftermath, hundreds of goons from different gangs came to Hollywood following that incident to back him up.
And dudes from every set in LA really stood up and was offended by what they had seen. My homies is Bloods, that's Cubs, that's from every set was upset.
In a subsequent video, Big U was seen bloodied and in cuffs as rappers The Game and T.I., along with Big U's son and an army of 6-0s, square up to the police, initially believing that it was the police that brutalized Big U.
Are you trigger happy too? We not bothering you. You trigger happy? Hey, TMZ, put it on. TMZ, hey, get the camera on Big U. Hey, listen, I got Big U right now. Police didn't do it. Club security did it.
Hey, T.I. Who did it? T.I.
Police didn't do it.
T.I.
Who did it? Who did it? Club security did it.
But after the crowd realized that the security were responsible for jumping Big U, they begun to confront and scuffle with the security, with one of the people personally involved in beating up Big U taking off running from the mob.
Who did that to you? What? Who did that to you? Please. Who did it?
The crazy thing is, T.I. got some crazy de-escalation tactics. You seen him, bruh?
Yo, people, who touched Big U? Who did it? Who touched Big U? Put it down.
Hey, Scott, I got you.
Then, rapper The Game even squares up to security himself, ready to fight.
Look at Game sweating the security right now on the police.
Then, what sounded like young Rollin 60s members ready to crash out would escalate things further, looking for those responsible and saying that they had never seen Big U in that sort of state, with everyone trying to remove them from the situation before things escalate and get deadly.
I'm talking to you, 6-0 kid. I ain't never seen my like that. Who hit you though? Who hit you? Hey, what happened? No, I can calm the whole situation down. What happened? I can tell you.
Look, it's a whole Mexican standoff right now. We got a whole Mexican standoff.
Security really out there lying, bro. You heard them when they was asking who did this. Well, initially when I first seen this video, I was upset with it because I'm like, it should have been straight action, period. But they didn't. They was trying to figure out who did what.
Off with Game's crew and the police.
The Game would still try and square up to the security, who was saying that Big U has to go to jail tonight.
Watch your back, watch your back.
Watch out.
The whole situation was a mess, and according to one rumor, this actually led to a gang war between the Rollin 60s, backed up by other gangs, and the Samoan security gangs that run the nightclub doors in Hollywood, with Big U saying in his Hip Hop Uncovered series how things got so serious that 4 to 5 people were expected to die over this, with some Redditors even taking this to mean that 5 people had indeed lost their lives as part of this beef.
It was a lot of violence against just clubs and security against clubs, and people expected 4 or 5 people to die. We got so many people dying over bull crap. I didn't really want to add to that. That's not the legacy I wanted to have. That was a misunderstanding, you know what I mean? Went too far. So we ended up shutting Hollywood down. We had to meet with the powers that be.
Now, I wasn't able to find any evidence or cases relating to murders that happened in Hollywood following this incident, but apparently after things reached a boiling point in the streets, the Supper Club and Big U had a meeting to try and resolve things. This ended in the Supper Club allegedly cutting Big U a check for $200,000 and doing a food drive for his community movement.
You know, we had sat down with the owners of the Supper Club. They wrote me a check for over $200,000. We used about $70,000, $80,000 to do a food giveaway, toys. It was amazing.
The Supper Club's giving all these free toys and food. They're underprivileged, right? And so I start talking to Big U, the organiser of the event. How come the Supper Club was so keen to be involved?
Well, we've been messing with them since back in, you know.
So, you know what's crazy? I know they ain't trying to call that extortion. That ain't extortion, bro. That's a, you feel me? That's a, what's that called? Compensation. Yeah, for what you did, bro. Y'all was out of pocket, y'all know. And y'all was on some racist shit. This shit is on camera.
The incident we had, you know, they want to reach back, reach out to help the community. For me, being able to take something bad that happened for me and turn it into a positive, instead of continue to let it be a negative, that's what I'm all about.
Supper Club later put out a public statement suggesting that Big U was the victim of a rogue security officer who took things too far, saying that Big U was not arrested and had no part in the violence, with club owners distancing themselves from the security that were working that night and promising that they would never book them again. Clearly, Big U was flesh and blood, like any man, and could also be caught slipping, but just as clearly from what came after, he was a formidable force in the streets who wouldn't accept this kind of violation lightly, and nightclubs would seemingly be a regular target for extortion attempts by the Big U enterprise. The 2025 criminal complaint would outline a situation where Big U shook down club owners, promising them T.I. and Wiz Khalifa to turn up to an event in exchange for 33% of the profits. These artists never turned up, but Big U demanded a $30,000 payment from the club, plus more of the profits, despite not keeping up his end of the deal, with a taped recording depicting Big U pressing the club owner and promising to tear the club up if he didn't get what he wanted, apparently vowing to bring 5,000 Rolling 60s members to destroy their club if he wasn't paid the money, and famous people weren't safe either. The criminal complaint would mention a litany of celebrities and athletes that had paid Big U a checking-in fee when coming to LA, checking-in being an extortion method that out-of-town people often fall into, as they're pressured to get into contact with the local gang members, this often involving payments for protection and to not get robbed. The criminal complaint explained that checking in was a street tax that had to be paid to guarantee safety from gangs and criminals in the city, and according to the complaint, the Big U enterprise claimed control of LA and expected to collect tax from entertainers in the city conducting certain types of legit or illegal business. The criminal complaint outlined an incident where boxer Adrian Broner and his friends were part of a fixed dice game against some NBA players, who then checked in with Big U and allegedly paid him $100,000, after which Big U gathered his goons and went to confront Broner, allegedly roughing him up along with his friends for not checking in and for apparently cheating NBA players out of their money. But even as far back as 2020, people on Reddit would debate why Big U pretends to be a reformed gang member whilst also openly enforcing the checking in extortion method publicly. People knew that he was living a double life years ago, and this was an open secret in LA. Big U would even be seen in video clips on social media going to film sets where he had apparently forced the production to check in with him, saying that if they didn't, he would be taking all of their equipment.
Movie production in the hood. That's how we do it, young man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
Coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. You know what I mean? Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just
TV out there ain't playing. He's a top flight.
check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
Oh, well. Let's go check your
we're gonna check you in, all right. We're gonna check in all of your equipment. We're gonna check in all of your equipment.
Big U was openly the gatekeeper for LA check-ins, warning out-of-towners in numerous clips that if you choose not to check in, you're not safe and you'll suffer the consequences, as well as saying that he too checks in when going to other cities.
When I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago wholeheartedly. I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. When I go places, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry, who real killers, like who really real killers. Like if he ever find out who did that, he gonna knock everybody down. You understand what I'm saying? You just caught slipping. You know, that's how it is. You know what I mean? And you try your best not to be slipping. And if you have the means not to, why do it? You know what I mean? And it's just about, sometimes it's about respecting, you know, yourself and then trying to get home. So, I mean, you know, I hear a lot of back and forth on that, but I mean, I don't know that it's a perfect answer other than me, myself, I check in.
But it appeared that Big U even had issues with podcasters like Gilly and Wallow of $1 Million Worth of Game.
Gilly and Wallow, they got a problem. I couldn't Philly, them the only two dudes I'm looking for. I don't got no problem with nobody else, no beef with nobody else but Gilly and Wallow right now.
WAC 100 and Luce Cannon would both tell academics that the Rolling 60s, on the orders of Big U, once stripped Gilly and his son and sold their jewelry for $100,000, with WAC 100 also revealing that Nipsey Hussle allegedly ended up giving Gilly $20,000 back because he felt bad for him.
Man, you better ask Gilly.
Gilly, no?
No, Gilly got stripped down by the homies because of Big U.
Wait, Gilly?
Yeah, the homie Rose and them stripped.
We're talking about Gilly the Kid. We're talking about the guy with the podcast. We're talking about $1 million worth of game.
He got his son stripped down, and they stripped down Gilly.
What do you? For what? Like what? What do you mean? Gilly never got robbed though.
Yeah, him and his son got stripped. They stripped him in the 60s. Big U lined them up. They stripped him, took all their jewelry. The did it, came on the stage and said he did it, and they get mad at me like I did it. I ain't did it. I ain't do it. I wasn't there.
No,
what mad at me for?
Gilly official from Philly, man. Gilly not going like that.
Gilly had his hands up in the mother air with his 2 kids. A father that couldn't protect his 2 kids. That's what he is. I told that, look, bro, don't be popping at me, cause with another saying, nigga, that from Rolling 60 Crip for real. Everybody know that is. He telling you, Big, you lined your point.
Not the 2 kids too, bruh. You know, it's crazy too how they mentioned like, oh, he was living this lifestyle on the surface, but he really was into everybody. Just imagine if they could look into half of the people that's government officials or federales or whatever have you, and look, I bet you it's only about 10% of them that's really living the straight and narrow. They probably crooked on the low.
Appearing frequently on LA's leading rap culture podcast, No Jumper, arguably becoming a loose link when it came to the secretive code of the streets. But before Luce had fully transitioned to a more sanitized media presence, he was allegedly towing the line for Big U in the streets, specifically conducting robberies of dispensaries that were being shaken down. According to the criminal complaint, on July the 5th, 2021, a robbery went down at an unlicensed dispensary that had been paying up to $25,000 a month to the Big U enterprise, but they ultimately got tired of being extorted and decided to stop paying up. On that day, 11 thugs were sent to the store, including Luce Cannon personally, with them running into the dispensary with guns and masks, robbing the store of cash, stock, and even sticking up the customers. Apparently during the robbery, one of the masked men put the store owner on the phone with Big U, who invited the victim to his home, and when he arrived there, he found Big U and the robbers with the proceeds of the robbery, telling the victim that he just robbed himself, giving him back some of the stolen things and demanding $10,000 so it doesn't happen again. Now, this is a crazy extortion method as it is, but to make matters even more crazy, years later, after falling out with Big U whilst on the No Jumper podcast, Luce Cannon would discuss this incident openly, saying how he found it strange how Big U would send them out on robberies and then the victims would later turn up to take their things back.
So basically it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll manipulate things, like we'll go and do something and as soon as we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the f- they get the, oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that, but cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right?
Luce also claimed that Big U had supplied guns to the homies, but noted down the serial numbers for these guns as collateral.
Seen the get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies, but I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like, he was doing like that, and I didn't catch on, so it was like...
See, at that point, that's when your freedom of speech go out the window and your right to remain silent come in. You understand me, bro? They should have been up there, like, maybe Luce knew what he was doing the whole time. I don't know, bro. You understand me? I do know this shit is gonna be a fight. Yeah, it's gonna be a long one for him. I wish him the best, bro. You know what I'm saying? All of them. It's at times like these, people who operate on a civilian type time, they be so happy and thankful. It's crazy, right? Because on one end, people who might live an alternative lifestyle, and I don't mean LGBT, I'm talking about like fake criminal or get money different ways than just working. People who live those lifestyles look at people who get up, go to work, wake up at 6, be tired, hell of shit. They look at them like, bro, you're crazy. Fuck you doing working for somebody else and doing it. You can be, and then the people at, like I say, at a time like this, the people look at the people who criminals and living that other lifestyle. When they get caught, they like, yeah, see, bro, should have been up there with us at the job, bro, every day. You understand me? Type shit. Or really being a full-time YouTuber. You heard Brick say I was a full-time gambler. They got me wrapped in here on some hearsay shit, tight, you know, and it's freedom, bro.
Oh, nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say, ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say, ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho.